Hi clients and friends, Justin Kramer, President, Pyle Financial Services. The last time we took a brief look at the market, it was roughly 2 weeks ago. Today is Friday, April the 17th, and we wanted to give you our most up-to-date and new outlook for 2020 and beyond. 2 weeks ago, we were right on the precipice of what we said would be volatile, rough, and a bottoming process in the market. And that's exactly what we've seen. The market has continued these large swings up and down. What we've also seen is unemployment claims have gone through the roof. As of yesterday, Thursday, April 16th, cumulative unemployment claims were just over 22 million. And we expect those to continue to rise even further in the days ahead. What we've also seen is whole industries lay off hourly wage workers. The movie theaters, Cinemark, for example, laid off 17,500 hourly wage workers. And so what's happened is the economy, as we know, has shut down. And now we're starting to hear language, which we've been talking about, that somewhere around the first part of May, we would see the economy begin to reopen. But as Chief Economist Brian Westbury so eloquently put it, the economy is not Sleeping Beauty, and the government can't just come kiss her and she wakes right back up. The economy is actually more akin to a muscle, where the longer that muscle lays dormant and idle, the more atrophy there is. And so back in January of this year, we came out and said we believe there would be a double-digit return in the markets. And we adjusted that with the coronavirus and said, hey, we believe the market will finish well into positive territory, but we still need more data because the wild card has always been how, when, and what will it look like to reopen the economy. Well, as we stand here today, we feel like we've got our clearest and firmest foundation on what we think that process looks like. And the reality is, it's not going to be a V or a straight recovery. It's going to look more like a U. Think about this for a moment. If you are a Californian and you make less than about $54,600, you're better off taking unemployment plus the $600 payment from the government through the end of July. Or how about if you're in Texas and you make just over $58,000? That's the only scenario where you're better off working. Anything less than about $58,000 in the state of Texas, you're better off financially collecting unemployment plus the stimulus check of $600 through the end of July. And even here in our home state of South Carolina, if you make less than about $45,000, it is more profitable for you to not go back to work. Well, that creates a huge problem because on one hand, we've tried to rescue small businesses and hourly wage workers, which needed to happen. But we've also now de-incentivized the workforce. This, along with several other factors, is going to lead to what we believe is a U-shaped recovery, where we begin to recover, but it doesn't look near as quick or near as fast as we had hoped that it would. Now again, while we expect in the early part of May to see the economy begin to reopen, things will not go right back to normal. In fact, earlier this week, the TSA reported that a year ago, 2.2 million travelers came through. And earlier this week, on that same day, less than 90,000. A 96% reduction in TSA travelers. Now, just like after the terrorist attacks, September 11th, folks thought that we would never fly again, but we did. Folks thought that the markets would never recover, but they did. And we believe the same thing. 12 months from now, we believe we will be approaching new highs in the market. But by the end of 2020, we expect the markets to finish somewhere close to where they started the year. So that puts us at somewhere between 27,000 and 28,000 on the Dow, and somewhere between 3,000 and 3,200 on the S&P. And it's going to take a little longer for us to reach those highs that we saw in the middle of February. But we absolutely believe as the economy begins to turn back on, as the muscle, if you will, begins to start working and being used again, that we will reach new highs in the markets within 12 to 24 months. And here's what's important. As we talked about last time, and as we've been having individual conversations we've been talking about, we've got cash set aside, and a fair amount of cash set aside for two things. If you need income, we don't have to sell anything. And number two, as we see this bottoming process happen, and as we start the slower march to recovery, we've got cash to deploy into on-sale assets. So while it may take a little longer for us to recover, we absolutely believe that the underlying health of the economy and the fact that we are going to begin to reopen, it looks like in the first part of May, are all good things. So this has been a fairly unpredictable 8 weeks, if you will, but we are very, very optimistic about where we are and about where we're headed. If you're not clients of ours, here's what I want you to hear from me. Not all recoveries are created equal. It's very possible that if you implemented a buy and hold strategy, which is a lot more like a sit and take it strategy, that your assets may not recover where they were. You need to sit down with your advisor, and if your advisor hasn't had a conversation about how to reallocate your assets and set you up for the right recovery strategy, you need to give us a call. Clients, we're having these conversations and we look forward to having more of them. Here's what we're going to do. Thursday, May the 7th, we will be holding, Scott, our Chief Investment Officer and Founder, and myself will be holding an open forum town hall style meeting, virtually, of course, and look for more information to come. And we're going to give an in-depth analysis of the economy, the recovery, what we like and don't like in terms of investments, and then be able to take live questions from you. Be on the lookout for that invitation in your mailbox, and I look forward to seeing you next time.